What's good, World Republic? Welcome back to another video. Editor Sly here. Glad you could make it. Before we start, please join the Discord community, link down below for me. When you click the link, the invite should appear as shown. Click accept invite for direct access to yours truly, your fellow community, as well as being notified every time we go live. You'll also be able to view all VODs from the Discord server, as well as any YouTube videos, and be notified when I post here on YouTube. Speaking of YouTube, around 99% of you guys aren't subscribed to the channel. Make sure you fix that by hitting the subscribe button and turning on all notifications. If you do that, I can find the content for you and we can watch it together. Shout out to all my current subscribers as well as current subs on Twitch. We call y'all citizens, you feel me? And yeah, enjoy the video. What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to another reaction. We got a reaction to No Operator. We got Manga Red, was built different. As always, we're gonna, you know what I'm saying, pre-fire a little like on the joint. This is a longer video, 17 minutes, so I'm gonna try to keep it concise. If this is No Operator I'm thinking about, I don't know why I'm not subbed. And then yeah, man, Discord cons link down in the description. Check that out. Get notified every time I post a YouTube video, which is twice daily, and every time I go live. Appreciate you for tuning in. Let's get straight into it. I'm here for the
In the world of Pokemon, across 13 large and expansive regions, it's safe to say not a single trainer holds a candle to the most legendary Pokemon master of all, Red. But in Pokemon Adventures, the long-running manga franchise based on the video games, Red's capabilities as a trainer are brought to an entirely new level.
I heard something where people are like, Red is Ash. It was a whole thing.
The Pokemon Adventures manga, Pokemon battles are a much more dangerous affair. Fights involve the trainer just as much as it does their Pokemon.
I've heard about that. I've heard of some people actually be getting slimed out in the manga, and like how it's actually dangerous with the trainer. I've heard some crazy stuff.
A battle between trainers could easily end up with one of the beloved companions dying, or in some terrifying circumstances, even the trainer themselves. It's for this, or in
Roshi, is that you? I thought we wouldn't notice.
Terrifying circumstances, even the trainer themselves. It's for this reason that unlike the anime or even the video games they're based on, the Red of Pokemon Adventures has been built dramatically differently than his other counterparts. Earning the title of Indigo League champion, especially keeping that title, meant fighting for his life every single day, while at the same time having to keep on top of every other possible aspect of being a trainer, developing a strong bond with your Pokemon, having the tactical brain to overcome any obstacles that stand in your way. And Red's journey starts as early as 11 years old, after the cocky child is humbled by the legendary Pokemon Mew. Taking the blow to his ego, Red decides to open his mind to the world around him, taking on Professor Oak.
You know how crazy it is? Imagine not knowing ball and you get cooked by like Michael Jordan, and like you don't know that's Michael Jordan, like he's not popular yet or something.
Mission of completing the Pokédex, and over the course of the series,
or like, let's say like an older Michael Jordan when you're a kid and you like think it's a guaranteed win.
Supporting the criminal efforts of Team Rocket, becoming the 9th Pokemon League champion, and stopping multiple worldwide to universal level threats of legendary Pokemon. Before his journey even begins, Red's natural born talent as a Pokemon trainer is on full display.
If that's not reflection, I like that better. How you can like see them inside the ball.
He and Professor Oak are under attack by a wild Machoke inside the abandoned Viridian City gym. Not only is Red able to immediately relate to and calm down the frantic Bulbasaur that escaped from Oak's lab, Red was able to team up with the starter Pokemon and fight Machoke, opening up the gym's windows and letting in sunlight to fuel Bulbasaur's solar beam, instantly KOing the wild Pokemon. Red didn't even do this because he was aware of solar beam either. Red just figured because he knew sunlight could become energy for certain types of plants, he went with his first hunch under the pressure. This natural inclination to follow his gut, as well as Red's ability to establish trust with his Pokemon companions, Red's ability to establish trust with his Pokemon companions leads to Red effortlessly building synergy with his Pokemon during battle. For example, when Red is battling Lieutenant Surge, despite being heavily injured by the electric gate surrounding him and his Pokemon being constantly
Like, bro, just imagine you are actually in a Pokemon battle. You're getting zapped with like lightning bolt levels of electricity, bro.
Knocked down by the legendary bird Zapdos, Red is able to overcome the pain and outsmart Lieutenant Surge by cutting through the cords amplifying Zapdos' lightning, who believes he's safe at first due to wearing a shockproof suit, but Red notes Sora's Razor Leaf had two targets, as he cut open Surge's suit, exposing him to the lightning and incapacitating Surge with his own Zapdos' attack. This quick wit under pressure is also shown when the Pewter City Museum is burning down due to two wild Magmar. Red is able to make use of a brand new low-level Sandshrew that he just caught to kickstart a sandstorm that knocks down the Magmar, prompting Giovanni, Team Rocket's boss, who was watching this, to compliment on how quickly...
That's kind of hard. I knew it. I need to take care of him now. He's quick. I'm assuming you read it right to left. He's quick, and he has the instinct to make the most of his Pokemon's abilities. I knew it. I need to take care of him now. He was trying to get rid of him.
Red's able to figure out and make use of his Pokemon's abilities.
Like,
this video is sponsored by Gamer Subs.
I appreciate you for letting me know. Damn, it's a pretty long one. Looks like a chapter telling you when it ends.
With Giovanni, despite the massive experience difference between the two, Red is surprisingly able to overcome the Team Rocket leader and Viridian City gym leader by performing something even Giovanni didn't believe was possible. The two trainers began their gym battle unarmed of Pokeballs, their teams placed in the middle of the arena, the trainers needing to grab and reach their companions to release them and fight. But Giovanni constantly outspeeds Red, claiming he can do in 1 second what takes the child 4 or 5, using Pokemon like Beedrill to attack Red directly and threaten his life, or outright create massive fissures in the ground with Rhydon to trap Red and keep him from moving. Giovanni even goes as far as to use his Dugtrio to crack Red's Pokeballs and make them malfunction. Red's as far as...
That looked kind of crazy because I thought he might have thrown a Pokeball at the Pokeball he was trying to grab, but say that's Aura, and then it like comes back to his hands.
To use his Dugtrio to crack Red's Pokeballs and make them malfunction, rendering them unable to open and cutting Red off from the last two members of his team. But persevering, Red continually works alongside his Pokemon to overcome these odds, hiding Pokeballs beneath his feet to release Aerodactyl from below and catch Giovanni off guard, who ends up hyper beaming Giovanni's Beedrill and KOing it instantly, or after all...
That's so... like, he has so much experience in the game.
Seems lost, Red throws his last team member remaining, Pikachu, towards Giovanni in combination with Lieutenant Surge's glove that he stole, letting Red stay safe as Pikachu charged up over 100,000 volts of electricity while still inside of its Pokeball. All of this loose voltage becoming a massive thunder that erupts over the arena and incapacitates Giovanni along with all of his remaining Pokemon, turning the tides of battle, and at the very least, reinforcing Giovanni's work.
That's low-key harder than the games. Like, in a good way, like, that's tougher than the games. Obviously, they can't let you do that because then, like, you know, it adds a whole nother layer to it. But, like, that is one aspect of, like, if I had the Pokemon fight IRL, I'd become a little crazy tech.
Words of wisdom to Red earlier in the series, that anything and everything, no matter how underhanded or dirty, is fair in a Pokemon battle. A lesson that Red has to remind
and then he cooked Unk with that tag?
Giovanni of in their second battle during the Fire Red and Leaf Green volumes. While their legendary Pokemon, Mewtwo and Deoxys, are battling, Red makes a quick lunge towards Giovanni.
Also, I don't think that's Mickey either, considering he lost to Mew at the beginning, and now he has Mewtwo.
As if he's going to punch Giovanni in the face, only to jump past Giovanni and steal his battleship's remote control, conjuring an electrical barrier to keep Mewtwo safe from Deoxys and charge up one final attack. Meanwhile, amongst the confusion, Red gets tangled up with Deoxys, and despite being in the line of fire, commands Mewtwo to fire full force into the mythical alien's core, willing to take all of Mewtwo's energy if it meant winning the battle and saving the world. Just to be clear, this is the very same Mewtwo who was capable of obliterating an entire portion of Northwest Cerulean City after just being born. As one of the strongest legendary Pokemon of all time, Mewtwo was able to equally match Deoxys in its attack form, a mythical Pokemon that was also capable of manipulating the Grand Delta Meteor, a planetary threat that could have destroyed all of Earth, and surpasses legendary beings like Primal Groudon and Primal Kyogre in strength. Two legendaries that can influence the weather patterns across multiple regions and massively alter the planet's landscape. Red is not only able to survive an attack of this magnitude, but also multiple other life-threatening injuries throughout his
It's also crazy IQ, but like the way that upscales his durability like crazy is insane.
Pokemon journey. After having his leg completely coated in a Nidoking's acid shown capable of melting solid rock, the Pokemon Master also endures elemental attacks from every
At this rate, bro, give him like a low tier, street tier like hero or villain and he's stomping.
single one of the legendary birds, surviving Moltres' fireballs, Zapdos' thunder, and being frozen solid by Articuno, all three of which are shown capable of dominating entire islands with their elemental powers. Yet even when they were all fused together to create the monster known as Thuphizer, even triple their base strength charged up into one sky attack was not enough to kill Red on impact. As a standalone threat, Red is an extremely capable Pokemon trainer, so much so that even the Elite Four, a group of the most powerful trainers in all of the Kanto region, found it necessary to gang up on Red and fight him 3 versus 1 to take
Pokemon, real life, it don't matter. Jump Jutsu is one of the strongest techniques of all time.
Take him down. And in the final rematch of the Pokemon Adventure Yellow volumes, Red is also the only character on the protagonist side to defeat a member of the Elite Four in one-on-one combat. Even Blue, or Green if you're reading the Japanese version, Red's closest rival needed to rely on help from Koga to defeat his opponent, Elite Four Agatha. However, needed to rely on help from
Green is the girl, no? And then Yellow is the
Koga to defeat his opponent, Elite Four Agatha. However, it's obvious that despite Red's solo feats being impressive, he would be nothing without his Pokemon. Red's core team is made up of a collection that he's caught himself, been gifted from close friends, and even those he's known since being a young child. For example, one of Red's first Pokemon before he even received a starter is Polly, the Poliwrath, a Pokemon that Red raised since it was a Poliwag, acting as an extremely powerful member of Red's battle team, having the physical strength to launch a Steelix through a building with its focus punch, and then pick the colossal metal serpent up with its bare hands and lift the Steelix over its head to throw it. Poliwhirl also has the speed to smack away Thunder Blasts from an Electabuzz, as well as utilize battle tactics like Double Team to catch Indigo League level trainers off guard and one-shot their Pokemon. Red's official starter Pokemon, Soar the Venusaur, has vines that are capable of restraining an Onix on the level of the Elite Four's Bruno, one of Aqua Team leader Archie's Sharpedo, as well as a clone of the mythical Pokemon Deoxys. Soar has
he has the motion of Michael Jordan with the amount of rings as Bill Russell.
Fought alongside Red since before his first gym badge, and has since grown into an all-around capable fighter, even being a justified choice when battling against types Venusaur would normally be weak to. And to make up for its slow speed, Venusaur can slow down its opponent by using its sweet scent or poison powder attacks. As Red's starter Pokemon, it is also blessed with the knowledge of the ultimate grass type move, Frenzy Plant, an ability that has been used multiple times to compete with legendary Pokemon like Mewtwo and Kyogre. The last of Red's original trio is Pika, the Pikachu, who wasn't only the key player in Red's battle with Giovanni, but is also an important piece in almost every one of Red's major battles. This is mostly because Pika has such a strong bond with Red. The Pokemon being so loyal, after Red was frozen solid by the Elite Four, it dragged its injured body across the Kanto region to get help from Professor Oak. Much like Red's other Pokemon, it's able to make the most of its innate talents and abilities to overwhelm opponents, either with its lightning speed or massive attack potential. Not only is Pikachu able to amass enough strength to critically wound a mythical Pokemon like Deoxys with its thunder, it can utilize its speed advantage over most Pokemons to land attacks on their weak points. During Red's rematch with Blue in Fire Red and Leaf Green, Pika's able to move so quickly it leaves behind after images, amplifying its strength of its Iron Tail tremendously, and
that was just a speed mirage.
One-shotting Blue's Machamp on impact. Pika was also the only Pokemon Red trusted enough to breach Mewtwo's giant Twister, the two of them coming up with a strategy that caught Mewtwo off guard by making the legendary think Red was coming up with a
spinning. Is he juggling them? That's hard. That looks tough.
strategy that caught Mewtwo off guard by making the legendary think Red was attacking with all of his Pokemon as a group, causing Mewtwo to fight using its area of effect Twister move, dropping its close quarters guard. Just as Red and his other team is blown away, he throws Pikachu into the Eye of the Storm at the last second, launching Pico right into Mewtwo's exposed torso with a Master Ball lodged right between its teeth, trapping the untamable legendary inside of its guaranteed catch rate in a performance that could have only been achieved by two partners who trust each other with their lives. Red's other significant Pokemon are Snore, the Snorlax, a giant hulking monster that's able to use its body weight to collapse entire battle arenas, bridges, or even cause earthquakes that rip opponents out of the ground with its seismic force. Arrow, the Aerodactyl, that allows Red to fight in aerial battles and also helps Red dodge or escape tight situations. This extinct dinosaur Pokemon is surprisingly able to reach faster speeds than the legendary bird Moltres. Aerodactyl's durable enough to withstand attacks from the planetary threat Deoxys. When unleashing its full strength, Arrow could one-shot high-level Pokemon like Giovanni's Beedrill with its Hyper Beam, or launch Soundwave attacks that counter Moltres' Fire Blasts. Next is Gara, the Gyarados, a Pokemon that was traded to Red by Misty. Despite starting off as a rampaging beast that was traumatized from experiments by Team Rocket, once Gyarados grows close with Red's teammates and proves it will try anything to protect its trainer, it becomes an extremely strong and viable asset to Red's arsenal, making use of its overwhelming size and strength to conquer opponents on both land and sea. Like when it brutally battles with Bruno's Onix and bites down with enough force to crack the rock snake's body, or proving itself powerful enough to contend with pseudo-legendaries like a wild Dragonite, battling with the dragon underwater and getting into a Hyper Beam clash that ends up with Gyarados being the winner. Last but not least is V, an Eevee that was also experimented on by Team Rocket, causing Eevee to suffer from a condition that causes it to constantly shift between its three evolutions, as long as the correct stone is available. Eevee is able to make use of these three different movesets to completely take advantage of an opponent's stagnant typing, switching its form to Flareon in order to overwhelm punches from Bruno's Hitmonchan, to then becoming Vaporeon, who when facing Bruno's Machamp does the unthinkable and activates Acid Armor to revert its entire body into pure liquid, making the Elite Four member believe he knocked V out, only to find Vaporeon survived and snuck its way back into the fight, transforming itself into Jolteon for one finishing move to Bruno's Machamp and Hitmonchan, simultaneously taking them down with a pin missile counterattack. While V's unique ability to switch between different evolutions made it a force to be reckoned with in battle, between volumes Yellow and Gold and Silver, V actually permanently evolved into Espeon, sacrificing its evolution swap for extremely powerful psychic abilities, meaning it can still effortlessly one-shot other trainers' Pokemon, because at the end of the day, V's experience in battle comes more from Red's potential as a trainer, as no matter how strong the Pokemon, how mythical or legendary the foe might be in front of you, being a Pokemon master is all about the bond you—
That's so hard. It feels like, based off this in the manga, they like really emphasize like levels, EXP with your mind, stuff like that matters. Because I don't think y'all realize how crazy of a play it is to throw your Pika into the Eye of the Storm, and it had the Master Ball in its mouth. It's great.
Build with your Pokemon, using that trust to create chemical reactions, making the impossible possible, something that Red has consistently shown across all of Pokemon Adventures. And because battles in Pokemon Adventures can involve all of a trainer's Pokemon at once, this point is reinforced even more so. And no better moment depicts Red and his Pokemon's relationship than his final victory moment against Blue in the Indigo League Finals, when it seems like Blue has Red's back against the wall and the battle is in its closing act. Blue's Ninetales is producing such strong fire blasts, it is completely surrounding Red and his team. Despite the type advantage, Red's Polly is sent spiraling towards the ceiling, spraying its water everywhere to no avail. And right after this goes Pikachu, reducing Red down to his final two Pokemon Pokemon instead of the obvious choice of Gyarados that Blue was
damn,
Red down to his final 2 Pokemon instead of the obvious choice of Gyarados that Blue was expecting. Red sends out his Venusaur as Blue releases his Charizard, making this last stand against the 2 starter Pokemon that Red and Blue started it all with. But what Blue does not realize is that when Soar's Vine Whip grapples with and tosses Charizard toward the sky, a thunderstorm had been forming up above the arena. All of this was one well-calculated strategy put together without any words between Red and the 3 Pokemon he's been on his journey with. By using Venusaur's whip as a lightning rod, the naturally occurring reaction of a thunderstorm due to the combination of Polly's water, Pika's electricity, and Blue's Pokemon's rising heat creates a desperation attack that solidifies Red as the winner, settling the rivalry between Red and Blue.
You can't make that up. Not using like Mickey Pokemon where it's like, oh, he just gets hard carried by blah 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 blah. He's using actual like team combos, actual IQ where he brings himself into the battle.
Blue for good. Honestly, I could go on for longer, but it would take a 2-hour-long video to dissect all of the amazing things Red has managed to accomplish in Pokemon Adventures. So I think you should really just go read it for yourself. As even as far into the most recent volumes of the manga, Red is still a relevant Pokédex holder that has stood against evil forces trying to obliterate the world, or even sometimes the universe/multiverse. But that is a tale for another day.
Manga Blue was always like, so he be on time, man. Shout out to Operator, man. I look forward to seeing another video like these. Make sure you subscribe and we hit that bell. Appreciate those of you that have stuck through to the end of this one. As always, you know what time to find me now. Peace.